remain. 2 weeks remain in the Texas high school football season. Playoff berths up for grabs all around the state. And tonight, a pivotal game within District 9-6A as the Sachse Mustangs play host to the Naaman Forest Rangers on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at Homer B. Johnson Stadium in Garland. Mike Leslie alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker, Hagma Harrison. Hagma, this is a game that is pivotal within District 9-6A. Two teams that have playoff dreams. One of them may see those dreams dashed tonight, depending on how this game goes.
And I'll tell you what, in 9-6A, these teams beat up on each other. By the time they get through the district standings, by the time they get to the playoffs, they're just happy to see a different team.
Yeah. Let's give you a look at the district standings in 9-6A because this will help to tell the story of the moment. Naaman Forest, part of a logjam of teams with 3 losses within district play. A loss tonight would make things very difficult for Naaman. Certainly wouldn't eliminate them, but it would make it a tough path. For Sachse, they can handle a loss, but they would certainly need to win their final game. For either one of these two teams, if you win tonight, it's not a clincher for neither of these teams. Neither of them can clinch tonight because Wiley won last night. Sachse can't clinch tonight, but they can get themselves right to the precipice of a playoff berth with a win tonight, and it would go a long way for Naaman as well.
I think for any team, they would love to be able to have their destiny in their hands, and that's what Sachse's looking at right now, and that's why this game tonight is so important. The last game of the season, it always comes down to it between Sachse and Rowlett. So, again, must-win situations tonight and next weekend for Sachse.
Get you our players to watch in this game because there's a lot of talent that's going to be on the field tonight. For Naaman Forest, Braylon Deal, been a wide receiver and a starting safety for the Forest all season long. But this week and really for the balance of the season, he's going to play the quarterback position. Ja'Kai Robinson lost to injury last week, so it is going to be Braylon Deal that has taken the snap from center.
A guy that's 6'3", 175 pounds, and when we talked to his coach, he basically said this kid is so smart and intelligent at the position, and that's why they trust him to be able to convert and switch from safety to quarterback.
They really trust his ability to spin the football, too, despite the fact that he hasn't played a whole lot of quarterback all season long. They feel like he really can put the ball in the air, and he's willing to put the ball in the air, which isn't always the case with a backup quarterback. Meanwhile, for Sachse, their stud defensive lineman, Trayson Haley, he has been an offensive lineman for them as well in spots throughout his career, but where he really makes his impact is on the defensive side of the ball. He can be a terror in the middle.
He really can. And I'll tell you this about him, Mike. He's a big old kid to be able to move as well as he does, and that's why every college is traveling to Sachse to get a close-up of this guy. I tell you, at the offensive line, he could have been a 3-star, 4-star athlete, but at defensive line, I tell you what, this young body, he's still filling in, and he's just going to be one of those guys that next year everyone's going to be talking about.
Imagine being 6'4", 311 pounds, and being described as still filling in.
He's still filling in.
He's a big boy, but he can move too. I loved the line from Red Barons, the Sachse head coach, earlier this week. He's like Tiny Dancer out there, except for there's nothing tiny about this young man. He can move, and he is very difficult to block because of it.
Yes, he is. When he said Tiny Dancer, I couldn't believe. First of all, you talk about a coach that is full of quotables. That's Red Barons. But when he said Tiny Dancer, I about lost it. But that just tells you how fast and fleet of foot this young man is. And I'm saying, in the middle of a defense, he can completely take over. And tonight, they need that from him.
This is also a special night for us and our Friday Night Football crew because our man Hagma Harrison is going to call his son's football game. We did this a year ago, and that was very special. This is a little different, though, because tonight is Hagma Harrison II's final home regular season game as a Sachse Mustang. I know it's been a big week for you and your family. I know you said earlier tonight you got a house full of people for this.
Man, I do.
What have the last 48 hours or so been like for you leading up to tonight?
Man, absolutely no sleep. And just the feeling that, being an inner city kid, Lincoln High School, earning a scholarship to Kansas State University, moments like this I couldn't even fathom, Mike. And being a broadcaster for the last decade and to be able to share a moment like this with my son, it's beautiful. My wife and I, we talked about it at length last night, and I just told her, I said, I never had a father to be as active as I am in his life, and I just. God blesses us all in so many different ways. And, man, I just feel abundantly blessed to be here with you guys tonight. And I just want to thank everybody that is a part of this. Tuna, Graham, yourself, I tell you, Clay Marshall, everybody, all the guys back at the station. This is completely awesome and a moment that I will never forget, Mike.
You see our captains on the field right now. Roderick Rainwater, Trayson Haley, Dirk Williams, and Brett Huff for the Sachse Mustangs tonight. Brody Perales, Manzavius Williams, J.C. Frenchlove, Isaiah Wesley out there for the Naaman Forest Rangers, and it appears that Naaman Forest will receive the opening kickoff. And we will see Braylon Deal, the young man that's just a junior, 6'3", 170, playing the quarterback position out there tonight in just a matter of moments. This is a game that, again, means a lot to both of these schools from a playoff perspective, also means a lot just from a rivalry perspective. I was talking with some of the players down on the field, your son included.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about this Garland ISD district is that they do have the opportunity to talk a little trash over the course of the week leading up to the game because all these kids know each other very well. That makes it that little bit more fun.
Look, they've all been playing against each other in middle school and biddy ball, all of this. And so when it gets to the point now when they're playing varsity football, they're very familiar with one another. And it doesn't matter if it's Wiley East, Wiley, Lakeview Centennial. These guys have been going head-to-head for a very long time. Tonight absolutely is no different.
The Naaman Forest Rangers running out of their tunnel right now, 4-4 on the year, 3-3 in District 9 6A. Again, a win tonight would go a long way toward finding themselves in the playoffs for a second straight year and for a sixth year in a 7-year span. Meanwhile, for the Sachse Mustangs, 5-3 on the year, 4-2 in District 9 6A, and win for them would all but clinch a playoff spot. Lots of fun stuff to come tonight. A terrific football game as well. Someone may see those playoff dreams come into focus this evening. Sachse and Naaman Forest kick it off next on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil.
It's a Garland ISD rivalry matchup within District 9 6A as the Naaman Forest Rangers face the Sachse Mustangs at HBJ in Garland. National anthem just winding to a close here at Homer B. Johnson. There you see Heckma Harrison II.
Oh, boy.
Heckma Harrison the first, to my right. Again, it will be Naaman Forest football to start this one. Two good football teams in a good football district, ready to go head-to-head. What do you feel like is most instrumental tonight in terms of how this game's going to play out?
Well, I think, number one, your defense for Sachse is definitely going to have to be able to deal with Deal. This is a kid that is super athletic and one of those players that if he decides to, churn and burn or basically tuck it and go, he's going to be difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
He's a guy that even at field level, just watching him sling it, he has an arm as well. He's tall, and although it's a trial by fire for him, he is so talented that there's so many other things that he can do. Now, you also have to watch out on the outside for his receiving core. He has some really, really good guys to throw to. J.C. French Love, we got a chance to see him last year.
Yeah.
A transfer from Prestonwood. Kid has superior hands, and also Dizer on the outside as well.
One of these two teams is likely heading to the playoffs, but tonight may prove to be an elimination game for the other. Sachse and Naaman Forest underway here in Garland, and on the return, it's Troy Williams to the outside, out across the 30 to the 33, and that's where we will see Braylon Deal and the Naaman Forest offense take the field. Deal, a terrific athlete already with some Power 4 offers, TCU among the list. Ultimate team guy, according to his head coach, Jesse Perales. Just will do whatever the team needs him to do, and right now the answer to that question is go out there and play some QB. E.J. Hamilton, the running back to his left, and he'll get the handoff on the first play of the game, and he is met in the hole by Willie Palomo, the sophomore linebacker. No gain on the play. Palomo with the run fit right out of the gates.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're going to have to do. You see number 51, Vashon Jones, basically step down. The linebacker comes right off of his hip pocket, runs right into the ball carrier.
So 2nd and 10 as a result, as you see the starters on your screen. To the air, near side, knocked away, nearly intercepted. Again, in on the play is Palomo.
Boy, I tell you what, that would have been 2 great snaps for Palomo if he's able to come down with the interception. But he reads that perfectly. Big 3rd down right off the top here for Naaman Forest.
There's a couple of good young linebackers in this game. Willie Palomo for the Sachse Mustangs, and then the coach's son, Brody Perales, for Naaman Forest. Both of them will be names that we will call quite a bit tonight. And sure enough, Willie Palomo, the first 2 downs of the football game, setting up 3rd and 10 here for Naaman Forest. Deal. Pressured, able to dance away. Nice move to split the defenders, but he is chased down from behind. Walker Williams with the tackle after a gain of just 2. Braylon Deal doing some good work to escape that pressure, but it's a 3rd down stop for the Sachse Mustangs.
And Mike, that's what I was talking about. If things don't develop up the field as he's keeping his eyes up the field, his ability to tuck and run, I think, is the most dangerous part of this for the Sachse defense. A great job not allowing him to escape out the back door and pick up the 1st down.
So Julian Johnson on to punt here for Naaman Forest. Brendan Quinn, Dirk Williams Jr. both back deep. A line drive kick up the far hash. Fielded at the 30-yard line, and very quickly with some space here is Brendan Quinn. Finally hog-tied at about the 45-yard line. A nice return. Call it the 41, a return of 16.
Yeah, this kid, they call him BQ, and BQ is a dangerous punt returner. He's had some that he's taken back to the house, so a young man that is very confident in his abilities.
So 1st and 10 for Sachse at the 41, and Christian McCaffrey, the junior starting quarterback, taking the field first. Dirk Williams has played some QB as well this year, but McCaffrey has worked his way into that role more and more as they've used Williams on the outside as a receiver. It is Williams, though, that takes this first snap and breaks a tackle and gets outside, and he's got the first down into Naaman Forest territory.
And I love the way that Dirk has adjusted to being moved to a slot receiver. You see him come right out here with the counter, right off the edge. Great job by Dirk Williams.
Pickup of 14 on the play, and just like that, Sachse is in Naaman Forest territory. Williams again, keeping it himself again, this time bottled up and slung for a loss. Well defended by Naaman Forest. They saw it coming this time.
And you see the difference in that second play with Dirk Williams. This defense, they're cued in on it. As soon as he pulls that ball, these guys are ready. They know exactly what not to do, and that's led Dirk Williams out the back door.
Now it looks like Christian McCaffrey will take the snap from center on 2nd down and 12. The junior, 6'3", 204 pounds. Got a big arm. He'll hand off here, though. And the interior to Roderick Wainwater trying to get to the outside. Dragged down from behind. Brody Perales with the tackle. A pickup of 3 back to that original line of scrimmage, and it's 3rd and 10.
Going to bring up 3rd down for the Mustangs.
Sachse, the back-to-back District 9 6A champions, but dethroned this year by Wiley East. McCaffrey, flushed from the pocket, trying to dance away, cannot get away. Maybe picks up a couple on the play, but the tackle by Corey Thomas, the junior, and it's 4th and 8.
McCaffrey for the Mustangs, brought down by number 10.
Kind of in a difficult situation. Let's see what the call is. Looks like they are going to elect to punt.
Jonathan Fuentes coming on. The junior will punt it away. And Red Barons will play field position, trying to send it deep as Braylon Deal, the quarterback, will also return the punt here. We talked a little bit with the Naaman Forest coaching staff earlier today about the changes they may have to make because Braylon Deal is playing quarterback, and they weren't sure whether they'd put him back there to return punts. They do here. This one checks up at about the 14-yard line and is down there. And Naaman Forest gives up the one big play, but other than that, Heckma able to stand up tall, and both defenses get an early stop.
Well, you see when Dirk Williams is in the backfield, obviously Dirk Williams is the guy that started the season as the quarterback. They made a change to Christian McCaffrey, so he still has the ability to throw the ball, but Naaman Forest, basically their scouting team, that what they've scouted from Sachse is that when 3 is at quarterback, he's going to run the ball. So maybe some of those changes that they have to make on the offensive end, maybe giving Dirk an opportunity to throw the ball.
So Naaman Forest takes over at the 14. Second series of the night for the Rangers. Late throw, finally caught on a couple of bobbles by Travion Dizer, and he's able to pick up 5.
Dizer caught that like 3 different times, and I'll tell you, he was in traffic. A good thing he came down with it, because, man, that could have been disaster for the Rangers.
Pickup of 5 on the play could have been much more if he had caught it cleanly on first appraisal. Instead, 2nd down and 5 at the 19. Deal to keep it himself and snowed under after a pickup of 3.
Golly, man, this kid, Willie Palomo, just a sophomore, 5'11", 195. Watch him on the outside, a little undersized for an edge, but still, man, he is really making life difficult.
Corbin Crane in on the tackle as well, the senior. 3rd down and a pair. Naaman Forest looking to make the playoffs for the 2nd straight year, but dealing with the major injury. Ja'Kai Robinson, their quarterback all season long, broke his collarbone last week. E.J. Hamilton right up the middle. Hamilton into the 2nd level and finally slung down by Braden Williams, a pickup of 18.
Well, I tell you what, great job on the left side of this offensive line. Isaiah Wesley over there opening up a big hole to run through. Great job by Hamilton picking up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 40. Deal now to keep this one himself. Follows the block of Hamilton, but only able to pick up about a yard.
Yeah, not fooled as the Mustangs defense. And I tell you what, I like the way that they're mixing in the run with the pass, really keeping these guys guessing at the second level.
Second down and 9, a gain of a yard on the play. Deal, protected, evades the pocket, fires downfield, it's incomplete. Oh man, should have been intercepted in the middle of the field. Quamari Thomas just couldn't hang on.
Sometimes it's just too good to be true, Mike. And how about that for an easy INT and not able to come down with it?
Right in his breadbasket. Should have been Quamari Thomas's second interception of the year. Instead, it's 3rd down and 9. Can Naaman Forrest take advantage of the gift? Deal. All day in the pocket. Over the middle, on target. And on the run to the near side is J.C. Frenchlove, run out of bounds. And a late flag there thrown as he was pushed out by Caden Swan. Swan protesting the call. We'll get another look at it here, but it looks like they're going to tack 15 more on top of this.
Wow. Maybe just a little bit extra and into the steps.
Yeah, that didn't feel good.
No, that couldn't have. But you got to give Deal a ton of credit right there. You see how much poise he had. He almost throws an interception, and then he comes right back, almost identical to the throw that was about to be an interception. Yeah. And then he completes it.
Answers right back, and looking like he's been playing quarterback all season with how poised he was there. Pulls this one down. Didn't have the screen available to him. Read well by Cade DeLeon. So Deal had to pull it down and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they'll say 2nd and 10. Ball at the 13-yard line.
Heads up play, though, by Deal. The defense, they snuffed that one out.
Deal with the handoff here up the middle for E.J. Hamilton inside the 10. The Naaman Forest offense averaging a little over 24 points per game. The injury to Robinson, the sophomore, 6'2", 205, was having a nice season and certainly was instrumental in Naaman Forest starting off the year with a 4-1 record. But 3 straight losses coming into tonight, so the Rangers trying to snap that skid. Deal to the end zone. High throw! Hung on to for the touchdown. What a catch right at the goal line by Madden Lee.
What a catch by number 14, Lee. And Deal puts it right on him. And again, boy, this young man is showing so much poise, and he catches that off of the helmet of a Mustang defender.
We've seen a couple times tonight a receiver have to bobble a couple of times and finally haul it in, but Madden Lee with his first touchdown reception of the season. Now a little swinging gate look from Naaman Forest for the 2-point conversion. Looks like they will take the penalty for delay of game and kick the PAT, perhaps? Or maybe they wanted the penalty for the extra 5 yards of space, because it looks like they're keeping the offense out there. But they did not look to be in any hurry whatsoever. Oh, they will line up and kick the PAT. Edgar Andrade, they feel like he's got a big leg. The Sachse student section trying to get in his head. To no avail. And it's a 7-0 start in favor of Naaman Forest. Braylon Deal to Madden Lee. The junior's first touchdown reception of the year, and it's 7-0 Naaman Forest, mid-first quarter on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Midlothian at Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks for downloading the WFAA Plus app. The main page is a live stream of WFAA programming, and you can find on-demand stories as well. Just click a tab at the top of your screen and scroll down to find WFAA original programming.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
A 9-play, 86-yard touchdown drive for Naaman Forest, and they lead 7-0. From his own 3-yard line with a head of steam out across the 20 is LaDainian Jones. And that's where Sachse will get back to work. Heckma, the Naaman Forest offense battling through the near interception, taking advantage of the gift, frankly, from the Sachse defense and paying it off with the touchdown. A long but patient and effective drive led by Braylon Deal. He has shown in the early going he's up to the moment.
Yes, he is. And I tell you what, the gift was the penalty on Caden Swan.
That too, yes.
The 15-yarders. Obviously, J.C. French Love, boy, making an impact on that play, but the 15 yards hurt even more.
So 1st and 10 from the 23. An incomplete pass at the feet of Dirk Williams from Christian McCaffrey. And it will be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, this is where the Mustangs, they absolutely need their junior quarterback to rise to the moment right now. Christian McCaffrey has to be on. You could tell that this Naaman Forest defense, they have some good guys out there. Their linebacking core is probably the best in 9-6A.
Led by the coach's son, Brody Perales. Handoff in the interior. Trying to get to the near side was Micah Hill, tripped up by Perales. A pickup of 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Micah Hill looked like he had a step on the outside and just couldn't get away. Great job by Perales on that tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, he's off to the races.
Yeah. Perales, the sophomore, the leading tackler for Naaman Forest, the coach's son, just a terrific young linebacker. 105 tackles on the year coming in today, more than double the total of any other Ranger player. Motion man is Williams. McCaffrey pressured, dances away for a moment but can't get away. Perales with the sack, his 4th of the year. There are flags on the far sideline.
Offside on the defense, number 6, 5-yard penalty.
Wow.
3rd down.
So it turns out to be a free play for the Sachse offense. Rick Ford, our referee tonight, leader of a 7-man DFOA crew. The offside on Manzavius Williams, the strong safety. And it turns what was going to be 4th and a mile and a sure punt for Sachse into a 3rd and 2 opportunity here for the Mustangs offense.
And you see right now, they are presenting pressure with Brody Perales, and he is basically mugging that A-gap.
On 3rd and 2, to keep it himself, McCaffrey lowers his shoulder. It's going to be very close.
Oh, wow.
By that spot, it looks like he's short. May have gotten a yard, if that, and it's going to be 4th down.
And I tell you what, man, this is one of those balls that you're looking at and you think that he's going to hand this off to Hill.
Yeah.
But at the last minute, McCaffrey elects to pull it and take it himself. Maybe a costly decision right there for the Mustangs.
So Sachse again forced to punt, now down 7-0. Flags at the snap.
Ball start. On the offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Caleb Bass, the sophomore, the offending party, and now it's 4th down and 6, and Sachse will punt it away. 2:37 first quarter in a 7-0 game. Naaman Forest with the touchdown from Braylon Deal to Madden Lee from 10 yards out to take that 7-0 lead. And now the Rangers looking to get the football back here on the punt.
High. Woof.
High punt, but not a far punt. Takes a big Sachse bounce, but right into the lap of Caleb Bass. Not a whole lot he could have done to get out of the way of that one. It just, the thing had sights on him. Just
yes, it did.
Right into his lap. And this will be a good look at it.
It's a moon ball, and it just, like you said, checks right up to him in his lap.
Immediately, I don't want it. I don't want it. Not a whole lot he could have done to get out of the way of that one. It's a 33-yard punt, and Naaman Forest goes back to work here with good field position at their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, you were talking about Ja'Kai Robinson earlier. Tell you what, man, him being hurt, boy, it really feel like it hurt their chances when he went down.
Oh, ball's out. Ball stripped out, and on the run with it is Walker Williams. Walker Williams is going to scoop and score. 44 yards on the return. There is a flag down back at the 36-yard line, so we'll check that penalty. But that was a sensational effort from the Sachse defense. We'll see whether or not it will stand.
After the return, illegal blindside block. On the return team, number 92, 15 yards from the spot of foul. 1st down, Sachse.
So take the touchdown off the board. The return from Walker Williams will not stand, but the turnover does. We'll get another look at it here. The hit, trying to see who leveled the hit. I think it was Willie Palomo that put his helmet on the football, and it pops right into the arms of Walker Williams. But Trayson Haley gets called for the illegal blindside block during the return. So the touchdown gets wiped off as a result, and the ball comes all the way back to the 49. So a great play by the Sachse defense, Ekma.
Yes, it was.
But a potentially damaging penalty.
Well, how bad did they need that?
Dirk Williams back in there, a quarterback. He hands it off up the middle for Rainwater, who falls forward for 3.
And Roderick Rainwater, a kid that has come in his first year of varsity play, waited very patiently to get his opportunity and has made the most of it. He is filling some big shoes left by Brendan Haygood. Haygood now at Missouri.
There was a lot of talent in that senior class that graduated last year for the Sachse Mustangs as Williams fakes the throw and takes off himself up the sideline, scampering for a 1st down to the 35.
That's what I'm talking about, how dangerous he is. He elects to pull, and again, the blocking up front, set up perfectly. And no matter how you scheme it up, boy, this kid, Dirk Williams, is so difficult to deal with out in space.
1st and 10 at the 35 as Sachse looks to pay off the fumble and make up for the penalty on Haley. Good pursuit in the backfield. Brody Perales is everywhere here in the early going. The sophomore with a tackle for loss.
This is clearly a linebacker that's doing his homework. Look at how he shoots that gap. And as soon as that ball is pulled by McCaffrey, the only number you see is number 3.
A loss of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down and 16.
Unbelievable linebacker play from Brody Perales.
Final minute of the first quarter. McCaffrey setting up the tunnel screen for Williams. Dirk Williams lost his footing. Otherwise may have been able to pick up even more yardage.
Oh, my God. I'm asking what happened. If the turf monster with the tackle on Dirk Williams, screen underneath, blocked up well, and just lost his footing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Sets up 3rd down and 8. A pickup of 8. McCaffrey, near side, on target for Marcus Roden, who makes a man miss, and Roden is inside the 10. Roden with the stiff arm to score. 33 yards from McCaffrey to Marcus Roden, and Sachse's an extra point away from tying it up.
Boy, look at this move on the outside for Marcus Roden. Look at the defenders. That's 1, that's 2, and then that's 3. 4 is trying to catch him. The stiff arm, and then his thriller. Does he do the thriller? He does the thriller.
On Halloween, I like it. That is a young man that understands the moment. I like it. A little Halloween thriller for you here on Friday Night Football, and Sachse has tied this thing up 7-7.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Midlothian at Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. Back at HBJ, 7-7 football game here with 3 seconds remaining. In quarter number 1, Christian McCaffrey to Marcus Roden for the touchdown. Roden's 5th TD of the year.
That's another young man that has seized his opportunity as well, waiting to get his opportunity on varsity, making the most of it.
Short kickoff, fielded at the 20-yard line by Julian Johnson, and Johnson's got a seam. Johnson up the far sideline. There's a flag back behind the play. Couple of flags flying in. So a decent chunk of this 33-yard return by Johnson, the sophomore, likely to come back.
Well, he had all types of space and opportunity.
That is the end of the half. That's the end of the first quarter. On the return, personal foul, participation without his helmet, number 40. Will penalize the turnaround. Name Forest ball this way.
All right, you heard it. That's the end of 1. We'll be back after this on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Midlothian at Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+. All across the state of Texas this month, there are special moments as high school football careers wind to a close, and families that supported their sons through years of becoming the football players and young men that they are today celebrate with them an incredible journey. Tonight, we've got the privilege of seeing one of our own, Heckma Harrison, and the Harrison family celebrate their son, Heckma II, as he plays his final regular season home game as a Sachse Mustang tonight. Heckma, I know this is a big night for you, for your family, certainly a big night for your son.
Wow.
What has it been like watching your son become the young man he is now?
Well, I just celebrated not crying in the open. Thank you very much, Mike. Like you said, the night was still young. Oh, man. It means everything. You know, this is a lot of times, Mike, I'm with you across town calling the game.
Yeah.
And I'm on the phone with my wife and everything that he does, a catch that he makes, a block that he makes. And, you know, it's just, wow. You know, opportunities like this, man, They're very special.
I can't tell y'all how many times we have been, especially at like halftime. That's the great thing about Texas high school football halftimes being a half an hour long. It gives Heckma an opportunity to check in. All right, what's little Heck doing tonight? How many catches he got? What's the situation? And that's easier said than done, to be somewhere else when those you love are competing somewhere else across the Metroplex. Tonight, no need to be pulling up the stream on your phone, my man. We're here. We're here.
And you always have to pat on me. Hey, plays going on. Plays happening. Plays happening, Heckma. Oh, man. Y'all got me. Wow.
Second down and 7 here for Naaman Forest as Braylon Deal and company look to answer the touchdown pass from McCaffrey to Roden. Deal up the seam, right on the money. Madden Lee again, this time inside the 10. Dragged down from behind, but it's 1st and goal.
They are exploiting a matchup on the outside, recognizing that you have a linebacker one-on-one with Lee. And I tell you, great recognition there by Braylon Deal. And we talked about some earlier throws that he had that looked a little off. I think he's settling in, Mike.
No doubt about it. Madden Lee, 5'7", 165 pounds, and making some plays here in the early going. Planted is E.J. Hamilton. Willie Palomo with a nice defensive play yet again.
Boy, Willie P is the man, boy. Another linebacker just play right here. I think this game between Palomo and Peralez, these two guys came to play.
There's going to be some good linebacker play in this district for years to come with these two battling back and forth. 2nd and goal. Deal has room to the sideline. That room evaporated quickly, and Palomo was the reason. It looked like Deal had an alleyway to score, and Willie Palomo cut him off.
Oh, he really did. It looked like he was about to score, set up blocks perfectly, and then all of a sudden 43 comes streaking.
It's going to be 3rd down and goal at the 4 as a result. Deal has it himself, looking for Belshie, tipped and incomplete. He threw it behind the big tight end, and it's 4th and goal.
Gosh, that was maybe too much mustard on that ball right there from Deal. That looked like that was going to be a touchdown. Let's see, they bring on, are they electing to?
They're going to kick it here.
Yeah, they are going to kick it.
They're going to bring on Edgar Andrade, the senior kicker. They feel like this young man has got collegiate kicker potential. This one will be a little longer than a PAT, a 21-yarder from the left hash, and it's up and through. And Naaman Forest takes the lead back, 10-7. The Rangers with the lead. A little more than 2 minutes gone by here in the 2nd quarter on Friday Night Football.
Thanks for downloading the WFAA Plus app. The main page is a live stream of WFAA programming, and you can find on-demand stories as well. Just click a tab at the top of your screen and scroll down to find WFAA original programming.
End zone shot. What a catch! Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Midlothian at Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA Plus. 10-7 the tally here. Early 2nd quarter on Friday Night Football. Jay Lasker in the YouTube comments, a regular viewer here on Friday Night Football, says congrats, Heckma.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
It was cool a year ago to be here for the Sachse Rowlett game.
Yeah.
But a little cooler tonight, just with the importance of the moment, seeing his career come full circle. Very cool.
Yeah, man, this is awesome, and you know, especially with the support that you get from the coaches as well. They know how special it is. Also for the Sachse community, all of these players. Mike, I'm so closely involved with these guys in the summertime because I know I'm going to be here with you.
Yeah.
So I spend all summer, all spring, you know, going to different camps and doing all these different things. So I see all of these guys all the time. I'm Mr. H, Mr. Harrison, whatever you want to call me. And we just have a lot of fun, man, talking trash to each other all the time. Man, I love these young men from the Sachse community.
Those young men take over 1st and 10 at their own 25 after the kickoff. McCaffrey coming near side, making a man miss on the near sideline is DJ Doyle, and he's run out of bounds. Pickup of 6 on the play, maybe 7, out to the 32. Following a block, a little heck.
Yeah, DJ Doyle, a young man, also a sophomore, getting an opportunity.
Second down and 3 as a result. LaDainian Jones checks in at the running back position. And he'll get the carry. Little burst here into the second level. And a first down for LaDainian Jones, the sophomore, a pickup of 11.
Yeah, you see a lot of chippiness out there, a lot of talking back and forth between these guys. Great block. And how about that, boy, from Jones? The sophomore, like you said, a burst. You can see the difference in that young man. He's running full speed.
He'll get the handoff again here. Breaking through a tackle. Brody Perales was hanging on for dear life to I think his towel or his waistband or something to keep him from getting any farther. 6-yard carry, 2nd and 4.
I think this offense, boy, I tell you what, they must have had a stern talking to. A little bit different pace right now with the Sachse offense.
Lost 8 starters off this Sachse offense from a year ago. So there's been a lot of replacing to be done, but they have handled it well. And again, the handoff goes to the sophomore Jones, spinning off of tacklers again, and he'll have the first down to the 46, a pickup of 5 on 2nd and 4.
Yeah, you talk about all of those seniors that they had. So much talent. Guys going to UTSA, Missouri, UTEP, and obviously the 5-star everything wide receiver Khalid Lockett going to the University of Texas.
They're going to keep it with LaDainian Jones. He's running hard right into the chest of Brody Perales, and 4 more.
And you're starting to see second and manageable. They were behind the sticks so many times on runs, and this changes everything for the defensive coordinators because now you have to, stick to the script.
2nd and 7, McCaffrey to the air, near side. Heckma Harrison the second with the reception. Tiptoes his way out of bounds, I believe, with a first down. Yes, indeed, that'll move the chains. Who is this kid?
Awesome throw from McCaffrey. He's got those size 13s trying to work it into the green. My man, come on now.
Who is this kid?
I have no idea. He's always in my refrigerator. That's all I know.
Lil Heck with his first catch of the night moves the chains, and it's 1st and 10 for Sachse at the 36.
How about this for a wrinkle? Christian McCaffrey is out.
He's in the middle of that 3 wide receiver set top of the formation as Dirk Williams takes the handoff, dances his way to the 30. Flag on the play on the far sideline. The initial signal looked like it was offside on the defense.
Another offsides penalty. Sure, let's see if. What was the game?
I think it was
offside.
7.
On the defense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Looks like Red Barons will take 1st and 5 over 2nd and 3. Taking the extra down. Giving back a couple of yards in the process, but taking the extra down.
And right now, you see how much cushion these wide receivers have on the outside. I'm surprised Sachse don't go with a quicker game.
Jones on the carry. LaDainian Jones into the second level, and another first down for Sachse. The sophomore running hard, 17 more.
Tell you what, blocking right now. You see the way these guys are setting things up, pretty much pinning them inside. How about that for that offensive line? Those big guys up front, Hill, Sheffield, great job in the middle.
Timeout. Naaman Forest, that's our first. Timeout to have.
Jesse Perales and his coaching staff slowing things down here a little bit. Defensive coordinators Columbus Peer and Eric Turner wanting to talk things over as Sachse Heckma was starting to kind of get the snowball rolling downhill there.
You know what happened was they got it all started with number 28, LaDainian Jones. I think that change of pace that he came into the game with really changed everything for that defense. The linebackers were starting to cue in on that read option. Not the same once Jones came into the ball game, and then you have Christian McCaffrey getting the ball out quicker on the outside. This is where they have to clock in and get some points. They can't get down here into plus territory and miss out on coming away with points. Very important right now with the way that they are executing on offense.
Out of the timeout, 1st and 10 for Sachse at the 13. McCaffrey, hands for Jones. The sophomore has been the bell cow on this drive. Falls his way forward, but I don't think he even got a yard.
Not a yard on that play, and
Second and 10. Jones again on the carry. Had his helmet nearly ripped off. That looks like it's going to be a face mask. Certainly looked like a face mask anyway. And the two flags came in
I think that
very quickly.
Hey, that looked pretty obvious to me from his perspective, but hey, you never know.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 16. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
First and goal here for Sachse. Placed the football just inside the 5-yard line. It's going to be Roden to take the direct snap, hands it to Rainwater. Rainwater surges forward to the 3.
Here we go. This is, I tell you what, you're getting down here. They change it up with LaDainian Jones, and now coming back now with Rainwater.
Roden again with the snap. This time he's going to keep it himself, trying to get to the near sideline. Can he get to the pylon? Falls forward, and he's in for the touchdown. Dirk Williams with the touchdown run, and Sachse's got their first lead of the game.
Boy, did they continue to battle and get through. Look, here's the deal. You get Dirk Williams in here on the RPO, and you got to block it up on the outside. And you see the speed and just a race to the pylon.
An 11-play, 75-yard touchdown drive, and Dirk Williams caps it off with the 5-yard touchdown run. And it's 14-10. Sachse with the lead. 5:48 to play in the second quarter. A good one underway here on Friday Night Football.
Hey, CMC.
End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Midlothian at Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Thanks for downloading the WFAA Plus app. The main page is a live stream of WFAA programming, and you can find on-demand stories as well. Just click a tab at the top of your screen and scroll down to find WFAA original programming.
Back on Friday Night Football, sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Celebrate with us. Special occasions deserve unforgettable experiences. From intimate date nights to large gatherings, Texas Day Brazil is the perfect place to celebrate life's milestones in style. 14-10 the lead for the Sachse Mustangs. Dirk Williams with a short touchdown run to give Sachse their first lead of the football game. Oh. From his own 4-yard line, fumbled, but then a surge of speed up the far sideline. What a return from Caleb Covington.
Well, they've been taking advantage in these returns, have the Rangers. Great position right there.
An absolute head of steam.
Yeah.
From Covington, the senior. Sometimes it kind of works out that way, that if you bobble the kickoff, you draw in everybody's attention to a tight space, and you can find that sideline.
And it would seem like the opposite would be true. If you bobble the ball, that would give that half a second to the kickoff team, but it doesn't work that way.
For some reason. I'm not sure what the physics are on all of that, but Braylon Deal looking for his favorite target, Madden Lee, this time threw it at his knees and incomplete.
Well, they found something with number 14. He is finding a way to fit in between the zones, but that was just a throw from Deal that was too low.
Madden Lee came into the football game with 6 catches for 96 yards on the year, 2 for 31 and a touchdown tonight alone. And the way that this game is progressing, it looks like he's destined for more. Nice crowd on hand here at Homer B. Johnson Stadium. Timeout called by Naaman Forrest.
Timeout. Naaman Forrest, that's our second timeout to have.
Like Brian O'Neill, the defensive coordinator for Sachse, he's had to make some adjustments here. And, either whether it be maneuver his safeties, not allow linebackers to be man-to-man, play true to his zone. Look, it's a chess match going back and forth between this offensive and defensive coordinator. Let's see if Braylon Deal, again, a guy that made a 13-20 on his SAT.
Yeah.
So he's pretty smart. But he's a guy that's been playing the wide receiver position and not quarterback. He's having to adjust and survey the whole field now.
Yeah, comes into the night with 26 receptions for 429 yards and 6 receiving scores. So he has made an impact at the wide receiver position all season long. But thrust into the quarterback position due to the injury to Ja'Kai Robinson. And he has shown himself to be capable of handling the moment. On the jet sweep, the handoff to J.C. Frenchlove looking for the corner. Picked up about 3.
And that's a kid with a ton of speed. You got to watch him. I tell you what, not only on those reverses, but also his ability to get vertical. Big third down here, man. I tell you what, all the stops should be being pulled out offensively. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a flea flicker, a double pass, or something like that. Man, they got to make sure that they put this defense for Sachse on their heels.
3 for 5 on third downs today is Naaman Forrest. Deal to the air, up the sideline, single coverage just beyond the grasp of his intended target, Corey Thomas.
Unbelievable. That's one Deal tries to lay out on him, and it's like Trevon Dizer.
Yeah.
Just right off of his, right off of his fingertips.
That close to a big third down conversion. Instead, Naaman Forrest has to punt it away.
Caden Swan not with bad coverage out there, but that was even better ball. Just not able to bring it in.
Johnson to punt it. Brendan Quinn fields it at the 16, bobbled it, finally has a secure grasp on it, but he had no time to do anything with it, taken down right at the 20-yard line. And that's where Sachse will get back to work with 5:13 in this second quarter.
Boy, that make you hold your breath if you're a Sachse Mustang fan when you see Quinn bobble the ball like that.
That was dicey.
Yes, it was. right through the breadbasket. Man, great job of securing it.
And it looked like it just kind of wiggled on his fingertips for like 3 whole seconds. LaDainian Jones back in there to the right of McCaffrey to start the possession. He's had a very nice day. This time handled nicely by the defensive front of Naaman Forest. No gain on the play.
I'll tell you what, up front, you got to give a ton of credit to the way these guys are playing defensively. Cruz De Leon, Josh Norman up front, Court Thomas, Khalil Turner, number 81 on the outside, man. This young man, I tell you, he is going to be a problem, just a junior.
2nd and 10, they set up the tunnel screen, but the tunnel didn't develop, and there was nowhere to go for Brendan Quinn. A loss of 2 on the play.
Unbelievable, man. That's it. I tell you what, you see it is snuffed out. They see it. Look at this defense, the way that they turn and react to the screen. Not fooled at all.
Sets up 3rd down and 12. Quinn, the motion man. McCaffrey dealing with a blitz. Perales got to him, and finally they take him down. Cruz De Leon there to help finish him off, but the blitz from Perales creating havoc.
And look, and he played it so well. The running back not able to chip or at least slow him down. LaDainian Jones didn't see him in time, and Perales with the free run at the quarterback. Danger zone right now for the Sachse Mustangs, punting out of their own end zone.
Khalil Turner in on the sack as well, the junior defensive end, and Sachse will punt from their own end zone. High snap, and it's a safety. Right over the head of Jonathan Fuentes. He didn't have a prayer of catching that one.
He thought, he's like, look, I got to be at least 7'4". I got to be Wimby. Only Wimby would have been able to come down with that. Jeez.
Some frustration there from the Sachse Mustangs as the lead is cut in half with the safety. The snap over the head of the punter, and it's 14-12.
And what you do is you give up some momentum right there to the Rangers. Offensively, man, I tell you, this McCaffrey is just trying his best, keep his eyes up the field. Again, they're giving him a bunch of cushion on the outside, but they are blitzing those linebackers and the defensive ends, are basically collapsing the pocket. Nothing the junior quarterback can do.
So now Sachse will have to kick it away from their own 20-yard line. A chance here, Heckman, for some really good field position for Naaman Forest.
In situations like this, after a safety, I've seen teams squib. You know, try and give yourself a situation to at least get them pinned. But put plenty of boot into this one.
From his own 19, again on the return, it's Caleb Covington, and Covington's into Sachse territory. Finally taken down from behind. A return of 43, and Naaman Forest will start in plus territory.
Boy, Covington is so dangerous. As soon as he catches this ball, man, you got to give credit where credit is due to the special teams right now. The Rangers, each kickoff, they have been dicing up this kickoff team for the Mustangs. And great hustle by number 11, John Brown.
The 43-yard return, they start at the plus 39. As a result, 1st and 10. Deal. Swing pass far side. Johnson slung down at the 33.
I love that play coming off of that big gain. You got the defense out on the edges. All of these guys in orange have to turn and run.
A gain of 7. It's 2nd down and 3. Johnson, the motion man. They'll throw it to him again. Good throw by Deal to get that to him over a couple of Sachse defenders that read the play well, and he still somehow got it there. All of that goes for a whole 1 yard, but that's a pretty nice throw.
It is. I mean, and that heads up, though, recognizing that he has the guy out in the flat, and even better tackle by my man Chase Wesley.
Wesley came screaming across to make the tackle. Only a gain of a yard. It's 3rd and 2 as we tick down to the 2-minute timeout. Let us know in the YouTube comments where you're watching from tonight, if you got a favorite player on either one of these two teams. Our friend Mike Hall in the YouTube comments talking about Heckman with a second, moving the sticks earlier tonight for a first down.
My man Mike Hall.
A regular viewer here on Friday Night Football.
Yes, he is. Love Mike.
He is at Cedar Hill tonight for their senior night.
Man, I got the word that Cedar Hill is moving to 5A.
All of those numbers are steadily coming out through the day. I hadn't seen Cedar Hill's number yet, but that seems plausible. It makes me want. I mean, we know last time around DeSoto had numbers that would have been 5A, and they decided to opt up. I will not be surprised this time around if Claude Mathis decides the other way. Because in talking with him over the course of the last couple of years, I think from a football perspective, they've certainly shown that they are every bit as capable of playing on that level, and a lot of their programs are. However, you do have to keep in mind the entirety of the athletic department, as out of the timeout, that ball was tipped. Good play in the interior by the linebackers for Sachse. I think it was Trindon Bennett who knocked it down at the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, that would have been a first down.
Would have been a first down and more. Number 45 extending out and tipping that ball down. And when we talk with Red Baron, he's talking about how young his defense is. He said, man, these kids, they're too young to be nervous. They're just out there playing their hearts out.
Will they be nervous here on 4th and 2? They need the 29 to move the chains. Deal with pressure in his face. Fires it out to the far side. And that's enough for the first down and then some for Julian Johnson inside the 25.
That's a great job by the quarterback, Deal, not forcing that throw or rushing that throw. Giving number 2 an opportunity to get to the outside. And, man, he is out there on an island by himself as Julian Johnson.
Johnson, the sophomore, playing a big role tonight. Now the handoff goes to E.J. Hamilton up the middle. A pickup of 3, but a clutch 4th down conversion there for Naaman Forrest. Already working off of the big kickoff return from Covington post safety. They didn't want to give up this juicy opportunity to seize on to the momentum that is already swinging in their direction with that safety, and they convert on the 4th down. That ball might be a fumble. Now they will say incomplete pass. Deal never really seemed to fully have it as he tried to throw to the right side, but they do deem that it was a forward pass.
Oh, that comes from, wow. What was that?
Can we see that one more time, that angle, and maybe slow it down as much as we can? Yep.
That's a fumble.
It's very, very close. It's kind of behind the helmet of number 8 from Sachse at the exact moment that we would need to see it, unfortunately. It's very close to a fumble, ruled on the field an incompletion, and that is a fortunate break for Naaman Forrest as it's 3rd and 7. Pressure, throws it over the middle, tipped, and intercepted. Picked off in the end zone by Chase Wesley. Walker Williams tipped it. Wesley, the senior, with his 4th interception of the year, and it's the Sachse defense that comes up with a big play.
Did they not come up big? And that was Deal anticipating that he was going to take the lick, but Chase Wesley on the outside. Look at the smile on that kid's face. He know he came up big. High five for everybody. Let's go. Hey, look.
Wesley and Braden Williams, the fellow senior, celebrating together a big defensive play, and now Sachse goes right to work, near side for Heckma Harrison. And that'll be a pickup of 7 or 8 on the first play of the possession, as Sachse is going to try and turn and burn here with the 3 timeouts they have in 45 seconds. They're not going to use one yet. Right back to the line of scrimmage here is McCaffrey, down to 38 as they snap it. Near side again for Harrison. Gets punished, but hangs on, and that's enough for the first down. It'll move the chains, and it'll stop the clock, at least momentarily.
Well, he caught it. He definitely took a lick right there, boy. Ooh, wait. His little sister's going to haze him about that tonight. There's nothing like a little sister that reminds you that you got hit pretty hard. Did that hurt? It's going to be the question.
Valiant Virgil laying the lumber to Lil Heck.
He did.
But with his 3rd catch of the day, Heckma Harrison moves the chains. It's 1st and 10 for Sachse at the 31 with 33 seconds left, and they do hit that first of 3 timeouts remaining in this half.
I'll tell you what, man, this is still have time. That's a big pickup, big first down pickup, but, man, on the outside, you got number 1, Marcus Roden, sitting up on the far side over there. Even though they're playing off of him, I'm telling you, Mike, this kid has some burners.
Mm-hmm.
And you see the respect they're giving him, 12 yards off the ball.
He came into the night averaging 37 yards a reception.
Yeah.
Low snap, McCaffrey able to dig it out, steps up in the pocket, has time, fires downfield, looking for Harrison, knocked away. Virgil able to knock that football away. If not, Harrison was loose.
And I'll tell you what, stepping up in the pocket, and great heads-up play there by number 18.
Valiant Virgil got up talking a little trash.
Oh, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. That's a heck of a play by number 18.
2nd down and 10 as a result. 26 seconds in the half. Another low snap. This one thrown low of the intended target and incomplete. He was looking for DJ Doyle, the sophomore, who's got a catch on the day.
Big 3rd down here, 22 seconds left. Sachse really lucky to get out of that situation down here with the interception in the goal, down on the goal line. Again, these guys.
They try and fool him with the inside handoff on the counter, and it didn't fool him. Rainwater able to fall forward for a couple. But a gain of 4 on the play, and they may just let the clock run out here unless Naaman Forest decides to call timeout, and they will.
Timeout. Naaman Forest. That's our 3rd and final timeout of the half.
So Naaman Forest calling the timeout to force Sachse to punt the football away, and perhaps more than anything else, force Sachse to execute a punt snap after they had one go.
Please reset the game clock to 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
So they'll give a couple seconds back here. Khalil Turner's grandmother watching from Greenville, Mississippi tonight. Linda Turner.
Greenville, Mississippi. I know some people in Greenville, Mississippi.
Appreciate you being here. We appreciate that. Mike Hall in the YouTube comment says the PA speaker at HBJ needs some rewiring. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that.
Maybe it's picking. Maybe gnats maybe popping a little bit down there.
Fourth down and 6. You know, sometimes you start reading a comment not knowing where it's going to go, and I got too far along in that one before I could stop. Another high snap, but a good job by Sachse's Jonathan Fuentes to pull that one down. And with 4 seconds left in the half, Braylon Deal trying to sell a little bit of contact at the end of the play and draw a penalty.
Great acting job. I love it.
Nice catch by Fuentes to save a disaster, as Sachse has already given away 2 points in that way. 4 seconds remaining in the half. You imagine Naaman Forest will just kneel on the football and head to halftime.
No.
You think Braylon Deal's going to sling one deep?
Yeah, it's Hail Mary time. Back these safeties all the way up.
All right. I like it. I'm all for a little more excitement before halftime. Why not?
I think we're going to get some, too.
And Braylon Deal has shown that he's got an arm. Now, we're talking about a 65, 70-yard throw to do that, but he'll heave this one up the far sideline. They will not throw a flag for pass interference. They kind of could have. There is Caden Swan basically ran Travion Dizer right off the field.
Yeah.
He was fortunate that one didn't draw a flag. Watch this one again. He may be hiding behind. Yeah, you saw it at the very tail end, hiding behind the graphic. No flag flies, and that is the end of the half. 14-12 the tally at halftime. Sachse with a 2-point lead in a game we figured would be tight. It has been every bit that so far.
Yeah, very competitive. I think, one, Christian McCaffrey, quarterback for the Sachse Mustangs, him waking up and getting the ball out of his hands quickly, recognizing that he has that cushion. I was calling for the quick game. You started to see it. They had a change of pace with LaDainian Jones, but he and Roger Rainwater have been working really well with each other at the running back position. For Naaman Forest, defensively, oh my goodness, man, their linebackers and defensive ends, they are giving Sachse all kinds of problems.
14-12 our tally at the break. Stephen White watching from El Paso tonight. We appreciate all of you for being here on Friday Night Football. The halftime show, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute, comes your way after this. All right, a terrific halftime show. Let's give you the highlights from the first half. The touchdown reception here from Braylon Deal to Madden Lee. Heck, but somehow Madden Lee hung on to this one to give him a 7-0 lead.
I don't think he knows how he caught that ball. That was an outstanding catch from Lee. He has had himself a game.
This was a wild play that we thought was a scoop and score for Walker Williams on the fumble recovery return for a touchdown. The return was negated by a penalty, but Sachse would go in and score anyway. A terrific singular effort here from Marcus Roden to score from 33 yards out.
Absolutely, and then you get the thriller on Halloween night. How about that in the slot? Everything choreographed. I think he went over there in the bathroom before he got here.
So well done by Marcus Roden. Dirk Williams with the touchdown run here after a field goal had made it 10-7. That made it 14-10. 2 more points were tacked on at the tail end by a safety on a punt snap over the head, and then the interception here right before halftime by Sachse's Chase Wesley to cancel out a scoring opportunity for Naaman Forest right before the break. And that's how we get to a 14-12 tally as we get ready to start this third quarter. Sachse making their way on the field, and they will have, Heckma, the football first.
Yeah, they got to come out. I think that safety really threw them off. The snap that was over the head of the punter.
Yeah.
They've had those miscues. They've had penalties on the kickoffs. They've given up a ton of yardage on kickoffs to Naaman. So this second half, I tell you what, it's going to be really important for Sachse to clean up some of their mistakes. On the other side, for the Rangers, look, they've got to have this feeling in their gut that, look, we've let a lot of opportunities get away. That interception in the end zone down there, they just hadn't, taken advantage of some of the mistakes that Sachse has made. Right now, I am really impressed with Braylon Deal, the way that he's played. We've seen him use his patience. We've seen him use his arm to thread the needle. This is going to be a very interesting 24 minutes.
Friday Night Football sponsored by Texas Day Brazil, an experience for all senses. From the sizzle of skewers on the grill to the vibrant colors of our fresh offerings, Texas Day Brazil is a feast for your eyes, ears, and taste buds. Third quarter, ready to get underway. Edgar Andrade to kick it away. Brendan Quinn, Dirk Williams Jr. deep to return for the Sachse Mustangs, who hold a 2-point lead as we start quarter number 3. Line drive kickoff, fielded on the bounce. Coming to the near sideline is Quinn. He lost the football, and Naaman Forest is on top of it at the 27. Brendan Quinn has it stripped away on the opening kickoff return in the second half. Naaman Forrest with a huge play in special teams.
I was just talking about miscues and Naaman Forrest taking advantage of them, and you see it right there. Look at the strip, number 21 for the Rangers, and that's Braden Crane. What a play to open the game. A costly turnover for the Mustangs.
So Naaman Forrest with the opportunity to start both halves with the football. 1st and 10 at the 27. Handoff up the middle for E.J. Hamilton. And he pushes his way forward to the 22-yard line.
Here again, this Mustangs defense is going to have to dig themselves out of another hole.
2nd and 5. That ball was bobbled by Deal. In trouble in the backfield, able to squirt away before Trayson Haley ends the carry. He does pick up 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2.
That ball just popped right up. Great heads-up play right there by Deal, coming down with it, and a pick 3rd down to start things off here for the second half.
Hamilton up the middle, right at the sticks.
He is. Let's see if he waves them through, or will they? Yes, they wave them through for a first down, and we have a player down for the Sachse Mustangs. I'll get a number here.
It's like Caden Swan.
Yeah, that is.
The senior corner.
That is, Kate. That is. It's going to be costly if that is. Boy, Caden Swan, he is a young man. Another one of those young men, 6'2", 170-pound cornerback out on the outside.
So Kason Clark will come on in his place. That's a big difference on the outside. Caden Swan, 6'2", Kason Clark, 5'9".
Yeah.
Will Braylon Deal go after that situation? Motion man is Dizer. He'll get the handoff on the jet sweep. Has the corner. Turns northward. Flag behind the play as Dizer had the first down and a pickup of 13. But it looks like at least a chunk of this is coming back.
Yeah, I think we get a holding penalty right here on Willie Palomo with the offensive line holding number 43.
Yeah.
Personal foul on the offense, number 54. 15 yards. First down.
A little more than the holding penalty.
Yeah, they didn't specify what the personal foul was, but a personal foul all the same on Jose Martinez, the starting center.
Wow, you go from first down yardage.
Yeah, it would have been 1st and goal inside the 5 or 6 yard line. Instead, it'll still be first down, but it's going to be 1st and we'll see exactly where they spot this football.
Wow, that is a huge penalty.
Complete game changer.
As you see the referees talking, and it is the first down. So
I think what they're trying to decide was whether or not the penalty would be assessed from the spot of the foul or from the original line of scrimmage. They have assessed it from the line of scrimmage. So it's 1st and 25, no play. And now they've got to get all the way to the 7 for a first down. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Haley and Palomo, Trendon Bennett as well, getting his hands on it.
That's the second time we've seen number 45, Trendon Bennett, get a hand up. Is that – no, that's – no.
That was Haley.
That is Trayson Haley, the tiny dancer.
The 6'4", 311-pound tiny dancer, Trayson Haley.
Nothing. The last time Trayson Haley was tiny was in his baby pictures, the day he was born. After that –
something tells me even his mother may differ with that opinion.
Right?
Deal. Hitting the escape hatch on the far sideline. Well defended on that sideline as they tried to spur J.C. French-Love, but Chase Wesley up to the task, and the quick tackle makes it 3rd down and long.
I tell you what, Chase Wesley has been one of those kids, man, for Sachse. He's tough. durable kid, but also, man, just on the outside. They trust him on that island by himself.
3rd down and 22. Ball sits at the 29-yard line. They need the 7 for a first down, and inside. I'll bet you're between the 7 and the 8 for a first down. Pressure, and Deal is taken down. Ripped down from behind. Cade DeLeon with the sack.
That Cade DeLeon, it looked like that was taking a long time. Deal holding on to that ball, not recognizing that the pressure is coming down on him. I think that's sometimes, man, when you're a new quarterback, that's the one thing that happens. The time does not go off in your head. I got to get rid of this ball. I got to get rid of this ball. And next thing you know, you're on your wallet.
Imagine telling somebody when it was 1st and 10 at the 17 that this possession would end with a punt. But the big personal foul penalty, the big sack, leading to this.
Unbelievable.
Dirk Williams, Connor Nash deep to return for Sachse.
Delay game. On the offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
The punt just got 5 yards shorter.
Man, and the Rangers are just imploding right now. You have that big penalty, 15 yards, that takes you out of pretty much 1st and goal.
4th and 34. And Julian Johnson's going to take off and run with it. This is a choice. He's not going to get anywhere. I can't imagine that was a called fake. You're not going to get to the 7.
How would he? Wow.
Nothing doing on the fake punt. Did he just see the sideline and thought that he was going to be able to get farther? If 24 for Sachse, Quamari Thomas had turned his back and ran to go block, maybe he would have had a chance, but Thomas saw it, takes him down at the 36-yard line, and it turns into good field position here for Sachse when otherwise it looked like Naaman Forrest was going to be able to pin them deep.
Ball out.
That ball was dropped for a moment by McCaffrey. He did get back on top of it, but a loss of 7 on the play.
Whew, does anybody want to win this game?
He and Rainwater just both kind of bobbled that football. I don't think it ever actually got to Rainwater.
And here you have a loss of 7.
Yep, 2nd and 17 as a result. So Sachse with the lead and the football, but going backward on the first play of the possession. They throw it near side, looking deep downfield, drops it in the bucket to Marcus Roden, and Roden's going to run away from everybody, celebrating at the 10-yard line with the football in the air. 71 yards. They're going to drop a flag. They're going to drop a flag at the 14-yard line, I think, for that celebration.
No. Oh, my gosh. Oh, no.
Marcus Roden went hands in the air celebrating the touchdown before he had gotten to the end zone, and they are going to flag that celebration.
Before the runner scored, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 4 from the spot of the foul, 15 yards.
Heckman was like, what did I do?
I'm pretty sure they had the number wrong. I think it was 1 and not 4, obviously. It was Marcus Roden who had the football. It was number 1 that had the football in his hand, and I'm fairly certain the penalty is on Roden, number 1, and you'll see here as he starts to celebrate there. They deemed it was the 14-yard line where he celebrated. So a 71-yard touchdown reception comes off the books, works out to effectively be a 29-yard penalty, and more importantly, a 6-point penalty.
Oh, man. That's tough.
That is a tough one because as Roden was trying to kind of mime after the fact, like, all I did was put my hands in the air.
The foul was on number 1 instead of number 4. That's his first unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
It is important that they clear that up just because if you get 2 in a game, it is an ejection. So certainly want to make sure it is applied to the proper player. 1st and 10 at the 29 as a result of the penalty. Handoff to Rainwater, flag on the play at the snap.
Let's see here. We have another penalty. We've seen another offsides penalty on, like offsides here on the Rangers.
On the defense, number 81.
Oh, wow.
Penalty.
So that's Khalil Mohamed Turner.
Now 7 penalties on the day on Naaman Forest for 46 yards. 5 penalties for Sachse, but 2 really big ones that have taken touchdowns off the board. The fumble recovery return for a touchdown early in the football game by Williams, negated by the penalty on Haley, and now the touchdown reception from Roden, negated by the unsportsmanlike penalty. As a carry for 2 there for Roderick Rainwater. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
Wow. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
70-yard touchdown erased by a celebration.
Would have been his 2nd touchdown reception of the day. 2nd down and 3. Rainwater again. Rainwater into the 2nd level, and he's got the 1st down. A 6-yard pickup on 2nd down and 3. They move the chains to the 16.
Come right back out. Play is in for Sachse. Let's see if this Rangers defense.
Rainwater with the seam. Rainwater to the 2nd level and a nice cut to score. 16 yards on the pickup. And Sachse finds the end zone anyway. And nobody gives Roderick Rainwater a bigger hug than Marcus Roden.
Marcus Roden, he already recognized when I get over here, Coach is going to give me an earful. Yeah, that was. Here you see the run from Roderick Rainwater. I tell you what, just splitting defenders. Great block on the outside by Marcus Roden. Great job by Sachse also after the fumble on the opening kickoff.
Gritty stuff to overcome the penalty. A 5-play, 64-yard touchdown drive. Roderick Rainwater in the end zone. And Sachse's got a 2-score lead mid-3rd quarter on Friday Night Football. End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Midlothian at Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
21-12, the tally in favor of the Sachse Mustangs, scoring despite the penalty on Marcus Roden. Of all unsportsmanlike penalties I've ever seen, that wasn't all that egregious. He put his hands in the air. He wasn't taunting anybody. It felt pretty benign. I get I'm seeing comments act like you've been there before. That's fine. But that wasn't really all that demonstrative.
No, and you could call it soft if you want to, whatever. It's just, look, one of those penalties, a guy makes a heck of a play, and what a throw from Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And all of that gets erased by an early celebration. Look, I'm as old school as it comes when it comes down to celebrating and doing things like that. But this, these young men have trained their hearts out in the summertimes, done everything to be in tip-top shape to play this game.
Yeah.
Again, if it's not egregious, basically, something that lighthearted.
That one will roll out of bounds.
Unbelievable.
It flirted with trying to stay in the field of play, but to no avail.
At some point, I think the adjustment that they've made on special teams is, look, we're just not going to kick it to this guy.
Yeah, that's a smart play.
Offside on the kicking team. That penalty declines. Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team, number 31. Naaman Forest will put the ball in bounds at the 30-yard line. 1st down.
That kickoff out of bounds has become a little bit less penalizing as the years. Like it used to be, they'd bring the football to the 40.
Yeah.
The 30's now, like you kick it, if you pound the football into the end zone for a touchback. It only comes to the 25.
Exactly.
It used to be so much more egregious of a penalty. Now, okay, it's a 5-yard difference between that and a touchback.
Better than giving it up at midfield. That's where Naaman had
right.
been after every kickoff. So defensively, boy, they got to get a stance here, though.
How does Braylon Deal and the Naaman Forest offense respond to now being down a couple scores? Quick throw far side, and he skipped that one.
Boy, he's
to
lucky.
J.C. French-Love.
He is lucky that he skipped that one because Chase Wesley, he broke on it.
Wesley already with an interception tonight. Hunting another one. Second and 10. Pressure coming. They set up the screen and overshot E.J. Hamilton.
Oh, man. Let me tell you something. Braylon Deal is able to complete this. Look at the space and opportunity and blockers that he has set up on the outside. Maybe that one has a chance for a big game.
Isaiah Wesley was out in front, ready to pick up Chase Wesley, the corner from Sachse, and spring E.J. Hamilton to a lot of green grass.
Big time third down.
Just missed him.
Big third down coming up here. You got to get some pressure in his face.
Deal able to get away, fires downfield, double coverage, and it's picked off. He threw it right to Braden Williams, and it's another interception for the Sachse defense. And now some pushing and shoving on the far side. There is a flag down in the offensive backfield, so hang on just a second if that is a roughing the passer or something along those lines. It also may be offensive holding. Looks like it's going to be holding.
Holding on the offense, number 78. That penalties decline. First down, Sachse.
Oh, they get Alfred Rosas on the holding penalty, but this defense right now, you see big number 92 getting into the face, and maybe he tips that hand of Braylon Deal. That's all Trace and Haley, the little dancer. Not going to let that go. And he was 6'4". This is a big old kid, boy. To just tell you how he's called him that because the kid's feet are so good.
Yeah. Getting after the quarterback there, helping to create the turnover. Braden Williams with the pick, and Sachse's offense goes back to work now with a 2-score lead. And the handoff goes to the sophomore, LaDainian Jones, who has been running hard today. Starts with a 4-yard carry.
28, LaDainian Jones with the carry that time for the Mustangs.
So a couple interceptions today by the Sachse defense. One right before halftime to keep Naaman Forest off the board. Now one here with a 2-score lead and an opportunity for their Mustangs offense to seize control of this football game. But LaDainian Jones has nowhere to go on that one.
Yeah.
With the carry, number 52.
Cruz De Leon with the tackle. 3rd down and 7.
It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Big 3rd down, and I tell you what, boy, these seems like your quarterback, Christian McCaffrey, he is woken up, boy, and that last ball to Marcus Roden, that was a pretty pass. I bet you he won't raise his hands again if he gets another one like that.
Yeah, no. Some confusion here as McCaffrey looks to the near sideline. Forrest Williams, the offensive coordinator, down to 3 on the play clock. They do get the snap off. Handoff for Jones. Runs right into Brody Perales, and Perales was trying to rip the football away. Goodness, that is a strong, physical sophomore.
Yes, he is. I love the way this kid plays. I mean, heads up, that's 3 runs right there from Sachse's offense.
Brody Perales, coach's kid, Jesse Perales, their head coach, 7th year at Naaman Forest. Coached both of his sons as well in years gone by. Both of them went to play college football too. Brody Perales is a stud and should be on many colleges' radars. Good snap that time from Sachse, which is an important detail. The punt takes a big Sachse bounce away from Braylon Deal. A punt of 33, and that's where Naaman Forest will take over. But, man, Brody Perales is a stud.
Yes, he is.
And the first thing that his father said when we were talking to him about him earlier this week was, I'd love for him to grow another inch or two. He's 6 foot. 195 as a sophomore. Yeah. I'm thinking he's plenty big enough. I mean, sure, between now and senior year, you'd love to see, all right, 6'2", 210 or whatever. That ought to be big. But he is a football playing dude.
That took the words right out of my mouth. He is a football player and a kid that I can see loves to hit.
Yes. Stacked up in the interior on first down. A gain of just a yard for John Kamara. Big third down stop, though, by Naaman Forrest after the interception, getting their offense back on the field. That was a big sequence from the Rangers defense.
Yes, it was. And here again, this for Sachse right now, the stalemate between these two defenses, I think those interceptions are starting to stack up right now for Deal, maybe shaking his confidence.
2nd and 9. Deal's going to try and take off and run with it, trying to get away. Somehow did run away from Cade DeLeon, and he's going to have the first down. Cade DeLeon was right on him.
Had him.
And then, poof.
Yeah, that's what I told you, man. You talk about the athleticism of this kid. DeLeon, number 44, is in hot pursuit, and then all of a sudden it looks like one guy is running backwards, and it's not Deal.
That is an athlete. Braylon Deal, 16 yards on the pickup and a first down.
Boy, big first down pickup there for the Rangers.
Trying to wait for the hole to develop was E.J. Hamilton, but no gain on the play. No hole materialized. Kamara on the carry.
No, it was closed in a hurry. And, oh, man, we got another Mustang player. Let's see.
Looks like it might be Walker Williams, the young man who had the fumble recovery return for a touchdown earlier in the game, quickly back to his feet and walking off under his own power, kind of shaking that right arm a little bit, but looks like he'll be okay.
They call it a stinger. Walker Williams, the son of the offensive coordinator, Forrest Williams. I always joke with Forrest, and Forrest was a wide receiver at Mississippi State. So how did we get he's a wide receiver, but his son's a linebacker.
Yeah, you guys flip-flop.
what a weird thing to have happen.
You guys flip-flop kids. A linebacker creates a wide receiver, and a wide receiver makes a linebacker.
What is going on with the world?
2nd and 10. Over the middle, right on target for Travion Dizer, who's got the first down, lost the football. Bounced right into the hands of Corbin Crane. Sachse football. And we're getting physical again after the play. But what a play by the Sachse defense, ripping the football away from Travion Dizer.
Up here in the press box, Corbin Crane's dad, who is a linebacker, the defensive coordinator at South Garland. He is here in the press box right now. Tell you what, boy, great job by Crane.
Good job by Crane and also by Braden Williams, the young man who had an interception just a couple minutes ago. He's the one who forced the fumble and ripped it loose from Travion Dizer, and it pops right into the hands of Corbin Crane. Another turnover created by this Sachse defense, and their offense takes over yet again with a golden opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 42. Right up the gut for Rainwater for 5.
Number 6, Manzavius Williams in on the tackle for the Rangers. Nice block up the middle that time.
Manzavius Williams is a fun story. Senior strong safety, plays down in the box a lot. 5'7", 150 pounds. But his head coach, Jesse Perala, says he thinks he's 6'5". He plays like he's 7 feet tall. Yeah. He has no idea that he's 5'7". Just scrappy in the interior. Rainwater straight forward for a couple more.
You ever seen that meme where it's a kitten sitting in front of the mirror and he sees a lion? This is that kid. Don't tell him about his size. He plays much bigger than I guess the tape says that he is. Love his heart, tenacity, and the way that this kid plays. And with a name like Manzavius, I think you got to be a man about yourself, right? Come on now.
3rd down and 3 here for Christian McCaffrey as Sachse again tries to pay off a turnover. Blitz coming. They run into it. Trying to get away is Rainwater, and he will not. Taken down for a loss of a yard. And Naaman Forest defense comes up huge again, keeping them in this football game late 3rd quarter.
Another, you're just trying to keep everything, keep it on the ground.
For the Rangers. 4th down for the Mustangs.
But I tell you what, that's a great job by that Rangers defense, just not allowing any room for Roderick Rainwater. And Jalen Johnson, number 56 up front, creating a pile down there. Great punt.
Bounding away from Braylon Deal, a punt of 40 yards, and Naaman Forest will be pinned deep in their own territory at the 12.
Wow. Still an opportunity here for the Rangers. If they can only get something going offensively, that's 2 turnovers here in the second half. And Sachse hadn't been able to turn those into points.
3 turnovers now in 4 turnovers in total for the Naaman Forest offense. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions. One of them they did turn into points.
Yes, they did.
The Christian McCaffrey to Marcus Roden touchdown pass late in the 1st quarter. But the other 3 they did not. Now, to be fair, the second of the 4 turnovers came right before halftime. They didn't have a whole lot of time to do anything with it. But these 2 here in the 3rd quarter leading to nothing. And nearly another interception, as looking for J.C. French-Love was Braylon Deal. Kwamari Thomas there in coverage and nearly snagged another.
Good way to track that ball for number 24, Kwamari Thomas. Again, French-Love, we know that kid has some jets.
Yeah, we saw him last year in the Parish Episcopal Prestonwood playoff matchup that was an absolute track meet. Well over 100 combined points in that game. And he had 1 touchdown reception in particular where he just ran away from the world. As Deal falls forward for 6 on the play. Sets up a 3rd and manageable that will come in the 4th period. 21-12, the tally after 3 quarters. Here at HBJ in Garland, Sachse with the lead, Naaman Forest looking to respond when we return for the 4th.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
End zone shot. What a catch!
Catch a live broadcast of every play of the biggest high school football games. Next week, Midlothian at Highland Park. Stream the broadcast free next Friday night at 7 on WFAA+.
Hey, I'm Jason. And I'm the other Jason. We're the co-hosts of Y'all-itics, the unofficial political podcast of Texas. So each week we invite on change makers for cold beer and candid conversations into the issues really affecting Texans. Yeah, and we're bringing in diverse viewpoints so you get to listen and really understand. This is solid information and a deep dive you're not going to get anywhere else. Not to brag, but just to brag a little bit. Okay, a little. We've been trending and making headlines. Plus, we have more than 1 million downloads. And still counting.
Back in Garland, start of the 4th on Friday Night Football. 21-12, the lead for the Sachse Mustangs. Naaman Forest blanked in that 3rd quarter, but looking to get something started here in the 4th as they hit Julian Johnson on the near sideline on 3rd and 4. He will not have enough for the 1st down. He's going to be about a yard shy. Good pursuit from the Sachse defense.
Boy, it looked like he had plenty of space and opportunity on the outside.
There is also a flag down.
Yes, it is.
Roughing the passer. Oh, wait, no.
Chop block.
Chop block. So Sachse's going to take the penalty, even though it gives Naaman Forrest another crack at third down, because it was going to be 4th and 1, and I suppose the logic for Red Barons is he thinks that Naaman would have gone for it there on 4th and 1. It's a half the distance to the goal penalty, so they're going to walk it back to about the 9-yard line. It will be 3rd and 13.
What a gutsy call that would have been from Perales if he'd have went for it on 4th and 1.
Deep in his own territory. Instead, 3rd and 13. They need the 22 for a first down. Pressure coming off the edge. They set up the screen. E.J. Hamilton needs a block. Can't get one.
He can't.
Well defended by Sachse.
Boy, E.J. Hamilton, you saw how fast the pursuit got back there to Deal. And just on the outside, man, cannot get to the outside. Does E.J. Hamilton. Is there another? No, not a penalty on that. It's going to bring up another punt here.
It looked like Jesse Perales was asking for an explanation of something from the officials, but yes, no flag on the play. I believe it was Corbin Crane that did a really nice job of fighting through the block, kind of wrong-arming the block and getting loose to Hamilton to make the tackle.
Because if he doesn't, again, it was set up perfectly with the penetration that they allowed inside and to get E.J. Hamilton out on the outside.
Have to have a good snap here. They do, and the punt
line
from
drive.
Johnson, a line drive that goes over the head of LaDainian Jones. He finally tracks it down at the 35. Comes to the near sideline. Stutter steps his way. He's still loose. LaDainian Jones has blockers in front. Needs to make one-man miss. Jones tracked down from behind at the 11. LaDainian Jones okey-doked everybody on the near sideline, and a punt return of 51.
Oh, man. Hey, talk about something that looked like disaster. The thing checks up back to him, and how many times have we seen that? Just why does this happen? And walking a tightrope. There's your okey doke right there,
man.
Boy, not for the pursuit coming from behind him, man. He's going to walk into the end zone.
DeMarcus Carson finally saving the touchdown, but it's a punt of 51, a return of 51, and it's 1st and 10 for Sachse at the 11-yard line. Dirk Williams in there at quarterback. Jones, a little tired after that punt return, stacked up in the interior.
Yeah, I think that young man needs a Gatorade right now.
Get that kid an IV.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you guys talking about? I'm a sophomore in high school. I want my touchdown.
I know that's right. I don't blame him.
No gain on the play. Williams still in there as the quarterback. Hands to Jones again. And again, bottled up in the interior.
Oh, in comes Christian McCaffrey.
Yes. Sachse 1 for 7 on 3rd down today. They face 3rd and 10 here. They need the 1-yard line to pick up a first down. As McCaffrey, the better passer of the two quarterbacks, comes back on the field here with 2 wide receivers to either side. Pressure on him immediately from Perales, and he has to throw it away. He was looking for Harrison. Couldn't get enough mustard on it, and it's 4th down, and it looks like Sachse's going to settle for the field goal here.
Man, an opportunity missed right there, but when you have that kind of pressure that's being presented, that blitz, the same man, same guy.
Brody Perales, man.
Brody Perales. He is making life so difficult, and what do we say in situations like that? As the kind of young man that will cancel Christmas.
A 28-yard field goal attempt here. Low snap. Flag on the play. Perhaps a free play here for Sachse. Throw it to the end zone. They will. Jump ball, and it's
Wow.
hauled in for a touchdown.
How?
John Brown with the reception.
How?
Flags all over the place after this one.
How?
An unbelievable play, and we will now have to check the several flags that are on the field. At the moment, it is a touchdown pass to John Brown.
It's got to be, there had to be some illegal man downfield at some point. There's a lot going on.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Offside. On the defense, number 18. Ineligible man downfield.
Yep.
On the offense, number 57. Those penalties are set. Will redo. 4th down.
So all of that.
Oh, come on.
And they'll redo it. Chase Barstow nearly had it stripped away. Able to regather, fires downfield to John Brown for the touchdown, but the 2 penalties offset, wipe it all out, and we'll try the field goal once again for Hunter Bryson.
Unbelievable.
Bryson 3 for 3 on PATs today. Now we'll try again from 28 yards away. Just inside that left hash. Good snap. The kick, a line drive. No good, wide left. So another big sequence for Sachse. This time not a turnover, but the big punt return leads to nothing, and it remains 21-12. Naaman Forest is the cat with 9 lives tonight. They keep on getting away with different either miscues or obviously just a really spectacular punt return moments ago from LaDainian Jones. None of it is leading to points for Sachse.
Man, and you talk about catching a break right there. That's exactly what that is for the Rangers, because that was, I'm saying to myself, how did you get that ball to John Brown in the end zone? That just is slow developing, and it had to have been a lineman up the field. It's no way that a lineman can hold his water for that long.
It's exactly right.
It just can't happen.
So 1st and 10 at the 20 for Braylon Deal, who still has life and slings it far side for Dizer, who's got a 1st down, a pickup of 11. Took a shot at the end of the play and is holding his head.
He is, that man is slow to get up.
Shaken up on that far sideline. Good to see him back to his feet now as he walks over toward the bench, but Dizer, a young man taking on a bigger role this week with Braylon Deal moving from wide receiver to quarterback, has been targeted a handful of times. 3 receptions, 28 yards. That one went for 12. Nice ball over the middle. J.C. Frenchlev on the run. Inside the 40, a big play for the Naaman Forest offense, a pickup of 33.
Way to go for Braylon Deal on that play. Again, threading the needle, being patient, but finding a wide receiver. And I tell you, he threw that ball into coverage. Great completion.
Fit that one into a very small window. 1st and 10 at the 35, to the air again. Near side for Johnson. Fights his way forward for 7. Naaman Forest still very much in this football game.
Yes. Right back to the line of scrimmage.
They are down 2 scores, so they're smart to acknowledge they do need to hurry at this point, approaching the midway point of the 4th quarter. Flags at the snap here, and it's going to be a procedural penalty on Naaman Forest.
Kind of matching Sachse with those penalties.
Ball start. On the offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
I think they found something with J.C. Frenchlev.
2nd and 3 becomes 2nd and 8. Deal Swings it far side again for Julian Johnson, who lowers his shoulder and earns back those penalty yards and sets up 3rd down and 3.
Couple Mustangs on that tackle. Number 13, Caleb.
I've seen that several times, whether it's 2nd and short, 1st and 10, getting the ball out into the flat and allowing their playmakers to make plays. Look at Deal.
Going to try and take off and run for it. Not going to have it. Picks up 2. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Oh, they're going for it.
No doubt about it.
Number 97, Julian Cole.
They do feel like Andrade, their kicker's got big range. From here, it would be about a 43-yard field goal attempt. And a field goal would help them.
Yes, it would.
Because it would bring them to within a score. But they are going for it here for sure on 4th and 1.
It's a good tackle by number 97, Julian Cole.
They need the 25-yard line.
Got it.
Pushing forward is Braylon Deal, and he's got the 1st down. It looked like he and Johnson weren't sure who was supposed to keep this ball. Look at this. Johnson almost took it away from him. Good hands by Braylon Deal to secure that football and pick up the 1st down.
Well, having strong hands, and how many times have we seen that connection go wrong?
In and out of the hands of J.C. French-Love and incomplete.
Pass falls incomplete.
Tell you what, if this Sachse defense can create another turnover, I tell you what, player of the game is going to end up being the Sachse defense.
They've made some big plays tonight. Braden Williams with an interception, Wesley with an interception, a couple of forced fumbles. Deal over the middle, tipped and still caught. Madden Lee, great concentration, and he's got the 1st down.
Unbelievable tip ball. He called him his favorite receiver. I'll tell you what, sure-handed though is number 14.
Madden Lee came into the day with 6 receptions all year. That's his 3rd for 43 yards tonight alone. Motion man is Johnson. Deal. Slings it over the middle, right on the money for Madden Lee again for the touchdown. Braylon Deal freelancing his way through the night, and he hits Lee again.
Talk about the sidearm right there, too. Look at him get on the outside, and that ball looked like it was tipped initially. Here's a better look at it. Yeah, right through the hands of number 21,
wow.
Thomas.
They will kick the PAT to make it a 2-point game. Andrade puts it through 21-19 with 5:28 to play in the 4th. This has turned into a pretty darn good football game.
Oh, as expected, as Naaman battling back, taking advantage of opportunities, and it just, for me, Sachse just hadn't had any juice right now on offense in this 4th quarter. Going to be very important to pick up some 1st downs, get a score here, because the momentum switch is definitely switched over to the other side.
21-19 now the score. Madden Lee with his 4th reception of the night. 54 yards and 2 touchdown receptions. He came into the night with 6 receptions for 96 yards in the entire season. I think Madden Lee is really enjoying Braylon Deal playing quarterback. Looks like Sachse may be expecting an onside kick here. They have 10 of their 11 inside the first 5 yards. They will kick it deep. And from his own 13-yard line, it's Heckma Harrison right up it's Marcus Roden right up the middle. 1, not 4, out to the 38.
Yeah, great play by Roden, great concentration, line drive.
Yeah, it's a tough kick to field.
Yes, it is.
Kind of a knuckleball, too, the way that thing was floating to him. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. Sachse led by 2 at halftime. Both teams have found the end zone once. And we're back to that 2-point margin. Past the midway point of the fourth quarter. Sachse's going to have to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
Sachse, that's our first timeout half.
Play clock had almost expired.
Yeah, and you see right there, boy, that's obviously communication with Christian McCaffrey. And this is going to be a big drive for this Mustangs offense. Like I said, the momentum right now is completely switched over to Naaman Forest. They have figured out a way, this defense that has just been all over them, finding holes. And what do you say about Matt and Lee? He has been big with possession receptions tonight.
What do you think has got to be the focus right now for the Sachse offense, for their offensive coordinator, Forrest Williams? How do you handle a moment like this? Your lead has been cut back down to 2 as they show the pressure. The run goes to Rainwater up the middle, and he gets nowhere, no gain on the play. What do you feel like needs to be the focus right now?
You obviously you've tried to put it on the ground, and Perales has been a thorn in your side. He is snuffing out everything. You're going to have to go back to the air to try and move the sticks. You got big receivers on the outside, and don't forget about the job that Dirk Williams does also from the slot receiver position.
Yeah.
So you got plenty of playmakers out there. Put the ball in their hands.
Clock winds under 5 minutes now. Naaman Forest still with all 3 of their timeouts. Sachse just used their first. Down to 2, down to 1. Pop pass here coming around the formation. Williams trying to get the corner, and he will not. Run down. Jalen Johnson with the tackle. No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
Unbelievable. I was just talking about the playmaking ability of Dirk Williams. And a reverse, just not blocked up well enough. Great penetration there from the Sachse offense.
Player down after the play for Naaman Forest.
For the Naaman defense.
Khalil Turner, the player that is down for the Rangers.
And he has been huge tonight as well. Boy,
yeah.
Just talk about this running game for the Mustangs. And, you know, they've had some luck. You've seen Rainwater. He has been trying to churn through this defense, but every yard that he's been picking up has been tough. Jones, the sophomore, has come in. He's had some success, but they've figured out a way to slow him down. This is a big 3rd down. You can ill afford with 4:10 left to give the ball back to Naaman.
Chris Stevens, Jessica Johnson out to 10 to the injured Khalil Turner, the athletic training staff for Naaman Forest.
Look like they're working something on his upper body. Don't know if it's a shoulder.
But to your point, he's been very effective tonight on the edge for the Naaman Forest defense.
Well, you know, number 81 and number 3, you know, they have been just instrumental in stuffing the run. But no matter what, win or lose, I'm going to come away from this game being super impressed by Brody Perales.
Mm-hmm.
Those blitzes on 3rd down, man, he has been in the face of Christian McCaffrey. And, hey, here comes another 3rd down. I think you need to pick up number 3 because he's coming.
He's been really good, not just with the ferocity and the intensity of his blitzes, but the timing as well.
Yes.
He's timed up the snap count really well and given himself that just little bit of extra burst coming toward the quarterback. Khalil Turner down for an extended period here now. Jesse Perales, the head coach, looking over him as well as they tend to him. Khalil Turner, the junior, 6 foot, 227 pounds. Now being helped back to a seating up position. And gets a big round of applause from the crowd here. Anytime you see a player down for that long, it just naturally makes everybody in the stadium a little nervous. Good to see him back sitting up.
Didn't see the play. But yeah, they are definitely taking their time. I don't want to speculate.
Looks like they're going to help Turner to his feet now. Khalil Turner clearly very shaken up after that play. And the training staff doing all they can to help him to get off the field here. The crowd here at Homer B. Johnson Stadium giving him a big round of applause as he walks off with the assistance of the training staff. But good to see that he is, you know, taking part in walking off the field. He's participating in that process because that was.
Well, I tell you what, man, it's just tough to see a young man down like that, and good to see him up. Hope that young man is okay. He is one of the bright stars for the Rangers.
They walked him all the way over to the bench area, and now will allow him to get a seat and get looked at a little further by the training staff and make sure that he is okay. Khalil Turner replaced now on the near side by DeMarcus Carson. Prior to 3rd down and 10 for both of these teams, it's kind of hard to now regather yourself and try and go play football again.
Yes.
But they do have to. A pivotal 3rd down and 10 here as Perales showed blitz, backed off, now does come, throw near side, complete. Heckma Harrison the second on the catch. Down the sideline and inside the 35. First down, Sachse in Naaman Forest territory, a pickup of 28.
Y'all give me a second, okay?
Nobody in the building happier right now than our Heckma Harrison.
Give me a second, all right?
A big 3rd down reception from his son to move the chains and, most importantly, keep Sachse in possession and keep that clock burning. 3:33 to play here in the 4th. It does stop because he went out of bounds, but another set of downs is coming up the middle. Is Perales. They didn't even get to hand it off. McCaffrey just run into the sideline and ducks out of bounds with a pickup of 3. There is a flag down. It's going to be a hold on Sachse.
McCaffrey is running for his life. And another, I tell you what, on that 3rd down, the pickup, though, of Perales really gave McCaffrey enough opportunity to get that ball out of his hands.
Yes. And it's almost like
on the offense, number 72. 10-yard penalty. First down.
I was talking about it just moments ago about how he had been timing up the snap count. And you can't help but wonder, was there any guidance from Forrest Williams? Did McCaffrey notice it himself? Hey, I need to vary the snap count here. I need to give my offensive line. It's the one weapon the offense has in their bag to slow down that pass rush. That's a heady play from Christian McCaffrey to vary the snap count just enough to get Perales to have that one step of hesitation. Handoff here to Jones as a flag flew at the snap yet again. 3:18 to play. Naaman Forest still with all 3 of those timeouts, and another stoppage here because of another penalty flag.
offside. Defense, number 3. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So instead of 1st and 20, it'll be 1st and 15 as they walk it forward to the 39.
We go back, we go forward.
And the clock will wind.
What a pickup here on first down, but still 1st and 15 for the Mustangs.
Sachse can, with this set of downs, work it all the way down to the 2-minute timeout at the very least. Unless Naaman Forest elects to start using their timeouts prior to that. Up the middle, Jones with a seam. Jones into the second level, to the 30, pushing forward to the 28-yard line. 11 on the pickup, and it's 2nd and 4.
And again, that's a great pickup on the blitzer. This offensive line, boy, in this last drive, they have got to be sharp because they are bringing number 3 on every down.
2nd down and 4. They do have to snap it before the 2-minute timeout. McCaffrey clapping for the snap, trying to draw some action from the defense. Jones again on the carry, into the pile. This time they stack them up, a gain of just 2. And that will bring us to the 2-minute timeout. It'll be 3rd down and 2. A big opportunity for the Naaman Forest defense. After this on Friday Night Football.
Thanks for downloading the WFAA Plus app. The main page is a live stream of WFAA programming, and you can find on-demand stories as well. Just click a tab at the top of your screen and scroll down to find WFAA original programming.
Two minutes even to play in a 2-point football game. 21-19, the lead for Sachse, and 3rd down and 2. Forthcoming out of the timeout. Heckma Harrison, we were just talking about it there in the break. Is this 4-down territory? I think it's certainly on the table as a possibility at the very least.
Yes, it is. And one of the things I'm noticing right away is Christian McCaffrey is staying on the sideline. So that means Dirk Williams is going in at quarterback.
He is in there with LaDainian Jones to his left. They need the 24 for a first down. Williams gonna follow blockers. He's got the first down and then some. Dirk Williams is gonna score. Flag behind the play at the feet of DJ Doyle. And it looks like a hold is gonna bring this back, and Red Barons can't believe it.
Unbelievable.
I think if I was reading the lips of DJ Doyle correctly, it was of our official correctly, it was DJ Doyle, number 15, that was flagged for the hold. Red Barons, you can hear Red Barons saying, "You called that?"
Wow.
Because of where the penalty happened, the 10-yard penalty will not bring it back behind the sticks. It will be a first down for Sachse, and that matters huge relative to their ability to run the clock out here, or at the very least force Naaman Forest to use all 3 of their timeouts to get the football back.
Are you going to get a 2-minute timeout? It already had the 2 minutes.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
My mind is gone right now.
It's been an emotional 48 hours or so for our Heckma Harrison.
Gosh.
1:53 to play, 1st and 10. Williams still in there at quarterback. Jones motioning to his right. Williams is going to follow Jones to the near sideline. Williams has got another first down. Inside the 10, it's 1st and goal.
No flags.
Running right off the hip of Heckma Harrison, blocking downfield. 1st and goal for Sachse. $1:46. He did step out of bounds, so that matters relative to the clock. Naaman Forest certainly obviously needs a stop here, but the fact that he went out of bounds matters huge now because Sachse can't get another first down. without scoring. Williams running near side. Forward, close, down at the 1.
But like you said, that foot out of bounds, stopping the clock, huge right now for Sachse.
Why is Naaman Forrest not calling timeout?
I have no idea. But that looked like he scored, man. He was on the...
He was very close, but the clock's going to burn all the way down under a minute. Why are they not calling timeout? I'm at a loss.
Guess the anticipation is timeout called. Sachse took the timeout.
Yes, as the play clock was about to expire, but they just let 25 seconds run off the clock. I have no idea why.
That's weird.
I understand you want to have timeouts for when you have the football, but you got to have the football first.
Yes, you do. Wow.
And frankly, timeouts called when you don't have the football tend to be more useful from a saving time perspective, because when you have the ball, you have control of the clock. You can choose to clock it. You can choose to run out of bounds. You can choose to throw to the sideline. You're going to save more time defensively calling timeouts than you will offensively.
Yeah, there's 3.
They just gave away 25 seconds. I can't believe that. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1. And Naaman Forrest still has all 3 timeouts. Williams again in there at quarterback. Naaman coming with the blitz. Nowhere for Williams to go. Nearly had that football stripped out. Now you have to call timeout.
There it is.
And they will. 51 on the clock when they stop it. They may put a second or 2 back on, perhaps.
Big time decision right here. With that, I think the ball now goes from the 1-yard line to the 2-yard line. Do you bring McCaffrey back into the game?
I mean, in some ways, every bit of your playbook should be open because you're trying to score here. A field goal does help you just insofar as you can't get beat by a field goal.
No,
but a touchdown is really what you're obviously
you got to score.
Driving at. Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Indulge in unlimited flavors. Why settle for just one dish? At Texas Day Brazil, every dining experience is an unlimited exploration of bold, fresh, and authentic flavors. 3rd and goal. Ball sits at the 2. Williams with Jones behind him in the pistol. Low snap. Jones breaks a tackle and scores. LaDainian Jones in the end zone for Sachse with 46 seconds to play.
Whew. What a play. This game, boy, both of these teams going back and forth today.
And now an absolutely crucial PAT forthcoming from Hunter Bryson. If he doesn't make this, it remains a 1-possession game. If he makes this, the game is all but over. Kick is good. 28-19 and a 9-point lead for Sachse with 46 seconds left.
Oh, my. What a game, Mike.
How's your heart rate right now?
I don't know. Let me see what my watch says. That 4th down, man, how big was that?
Man.
Yikes.
What a drive from the Sachse Mustangs. 10 plays, 62 yards, 4:35 coming off the clock. That is some 4-minute offense to salt the football game away, just like you wanted to if you were Red Barons. and a 9-point advantage with 46 seconds left. You've now put Naaman Forest in a place where they need a miracle.
Well, let me say this right off the bat. Don't kick it to
right.
number 22, Caleb Covington.
Yep.
Yeah, let's keep it out of the hands of this guy. I think I'm okay with kicking this one out of bounds. Just not even try to disguise it.
It's Covington and Troy Williams deep to return. There you see Caleb Covington. He has had a couple of special kickoff returns already today. Bryson, a line drive at Williams. Bounces right to him at the 13. Williams has blockers out in front, following Covington to the far sideline. Williams makes a man miss, surges forward across midfield. Finally slung out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him.
He's at the 5th. No. Let's see where we are. It looks like that's the 47-yard line.
They may have marked him back on their own side of the field at the 47. He may have stepped out of bounds as he made a couple of guys miss.
Don't kick it to him. Don't kick it to either of those guys.
Yeah, they tried to kick it away from Covington, and Troy Williams said, bet.
This ain't over. 35 seconds, 2 timeouts for the Rangers.
Braylon Deal's going to have to fly downfield. No, what a catch that would have been from Julian Johnson.
Had an opportunity at it.
Twisting in midair and nearly hauled it in.
Trendon Bennett on the outside. Looked like that was a holding penalty that they missed right here. You see at the bottom of the screen. Brian Reed may have gotten away with the hold.
Naaman Forest needs a touchdown. Honestly, what might be the smarter play is get in field goal range as fast as possible and kick it.
Yes.
And then kick the onside kick, because you can score a touchdown from anywhere on the field. You can't kick a field goal from anywhere unless you've got Aubrey.
Oh,
Deal taken down. Just swarmed by orange jerseys. Got to call timeout. Got to call timeout. They have 2 timeouts. 10-9. Unbelievable that they did not call a timeout somewhere in that sequence. All of the coaches were hollering to get back and clock it, but just call the timeout. You've got 2 left. There's only 18 seconds left in the game.
Wow. Realistically, Mike, Naaman Forest should have about 34 seconds left on the clock.
Based on the timeout on Sachse's possession.
There was 25 seconds that they allowed to burn off of the clock.
That sequence right there basically just ended the football game. Because I'm sorry, you're not going to score from the 43-yard line in your own territory in less than 9 seconds. Probably. To be fair, their chances were very, very, very small anyway because of the fact that Sachse had created a 2-possession lead. But Deal, far side, good throw, and stepping out of bounds with 3 seconds left is Brody Perales.
What doesn't Brody Perales do?
They like what he can do as a wide receiver. He's just so valuable on the offensive side of the ball. That's a young man that could absolutely start both ways if they wanted to do that with him.
He is a nightmare.
He's going to be fun to watch grow up because he plays like a senior as a sophomore. I'll see what that kid looks like in 2027. 3 seconds left. Deal firing to French Love in the end zone. Intercepted. And that'll end it. Braden Williams had a sensational day. Forced a fumble, picked off 2 passes, and that one finishes it. And the Sachse Mustangs move to the edge of a playoff spot with a 28-19 win over Naaman Forest.
What a gutsy performance by the Mustangs. and the Rangers gave them all they could handle. Man, a ton of back and forth in this. You know, no matter clock management, however you look at it, man, this was just one of those gutsy games. I tell you, 9-6A, these kids battle. It comes down to the wire, and Sachse did themselves a favor by getting the victory here today.
Sachse driving down the field, 10 plays, 65 yards in the final 4.5 minutes of the football game to put it away. And a big 3rd down and 10 reception from a young man named Heckma Harrison kept that drive alive and helped them pull away and win this football game. And Sachse will improve to 5-2 within the district.
Wow.
And they are now right on the verge of locking up a playoff spot. They play Rowlett here a week from now. I beg your pardon, Thursday night. And depending on some other results from around the area, there you see Lil Heck on your screen. Trash talking all night with these guys,
other,
but
man.
JC French-Love and Heckma.
Oh, they know each other well. All these kids, they absolutely, they've been friends. They group chat. Wow.
Here's another look at the big 3rd down reception from Heckma Harrison. Keeping the drive alive, a 3rd down and 10 pickup, getting Sachse into Naaman Forest territory, and Trayson Haley saying, yep, that's a first down.
That is a first down. Gutsy performance.
And Sachse improves to 5-2 in the district. They don't win the district title this year, but they are right there in 2nd place and very likely now, thanks to tonight's win, to end up in the playoffs yet again. 28-19 the final. We'll be back to wrap this one up after this on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Here's tonight's Friday Night Football Play of the Game, sponsored by the Children's Health Andrews Institute.
With all due respect to all of the special plays that we saw tonight, how do we not go with Heckma Harrison II with the big 3rd down and 10 reception late in the 4th to keep the drive alive? Trayson Haley celebrating the first down for him, leading to the touchdown from Sachse that would put this game away from Ladarian Jones, the sophomore. And Sachse gets a 28-19 win. Harrison with 4 catches for 46 yards on the night. Came into the night with 11. Nice little bump in the stat line for your son, my man.
No, I like that. He played his heart out. a great game. It was one where he had to come out and compete. He knew it. They knew that secondary for Naaman Forest was going to be tough. And I tell you, it's not over with yet. They have a Rowlett squad that is going to be waiting and chomping at the bit to try and get a victory over them on Thursday. Is when that game is.
Yes.
And, boy, big-time victory here tonight, though, for the Mustangs.
Big smile on Lil Heck's face as Sachse gets a 28-19 win. This has been such a cool night, but that moment late in the fourth was very, very, very cool.
Hey, I love you guys. My family's down there. I'm about to go catch my family.
We have done what we needed to do with your son. I will handle player of the game. You go be with your family, my man.
Thank you.
Heckma Harrison. Big hug for the family. Go be with them, my man. That is too cool. We will step aside one more time. We will come back with your player of the game, the Texas de Brazil on fire player of the game, after this.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pumps out, make sure to protect your paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
And now, the Texas de Brazil on fire player of the game.
I don't know how many times in the history of doing this we've gone with a defensive player, but the Sachse defense deserved it tonight, and Braden Williams deserved it tonight. This big interception in the third quarter, one of 2 that he had on the night. He also forced the fumble that Corbin Crane recovered in the next Naaman Forest possession. Braden Williams and the Sachse defense holding Naaman Forest to just 19 points tonight as Sachse gets the win on their home field and improves to 5-2 in district play and moves that much closer to a playoff berth. Braden Williams, our player of the game. 28-19 the final, a very special night here at Garland's Homer B. Johnson Stadium. Heckma Harrison, our color analyst, calling his son's final home game here as a Sachse Mustang, and Heckma making a couple of big catches on the night as well. Really cool to see this night play out. We appreciate everybody that was involved in helping to make this night happen, because it was a very, very special night. Next week here on Friday Night Football, this one should be a really good football game, and based on the scores that I was seeing earlier, should be just about a district championship game between Midlothian and Highland Park. Midlothian was up big on Red Oak. That game should be a ton of fun 1 week from now here on Friday Night Football, as the Highland Park Scots, one of the top teams in the state in 5AD1, plays host to a Midlothian Panthers team that played them to a good game a year ago in a district championship game, and we'll see that matchup play out once again 1 week from tonight. 46-10, Midlothian leading Red Oak late in the fourth quarter. So yes, Midlothian will improve to 7-2 on the year and 4-1 in district play. Highland Park 5-0 in the district. Should be a really, really fun football game between Highland Park and Midlothian 1 week from now. Fun one tonight here as well. The Sachse Mustangs coming away with a 28-19 win over Naaman Forest to move just that much closer to a playoff spot. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, our director, Clay Marshall, our photographers, Graham Rayner and Cody Pryor, our digital coordinator back in-house, Paul Wedding and Jay Wallace, our statistician, Robert Walton, and Heckma Harrison, down there on the field with his family, watching his son walk off the field one more time victorious as a Sachse Mustang on his home field. I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for a very, very cool night. We really appreciate y'all. We will see you next week from Highland Park. Good night, everybody.